What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since I've done a video. I've been doing some video game playthroughs. They're uploaded on the channel. Check them out. Really appreciate it. But today is November 23rd, and today is a very special day in the history of the horror genre, because today it would have been the 138th birthday of who, in my opinion, is the Elvis Presley of horror, the greatest horror icon in the history of the genre, and that is none other than Boris Karloff. That's actually his stage name. His real name was William Henry Pratt. And Karloff rose to fame and became screen royalty and horror movie royalty when, in 1931, he donned the makeup for what is one of the greatest and most important horror films in history, and that is none other than Universal Studios' Frankenstein. This film was directed by James Whale. It stars Colin Clive as Dr. Henry Frankenstein, Boris Karloff as the monster, Mae Clarke as Elizabeth, Henry's fiance, Edward Van Sloan as Dr. Valmar, who is Henry's old college professor, and Dwight Fry, who is Henry Frankenstein's hunchback assistant Fritz. This movie is very important for a number of reasons. I could sit here all day and we could research it and go on and on and on, but I'm just going to touch on a few points. The first of all, the makeup that Karloff has in this movie is, in a lot of people's opinions, and in mine as well, the greatest monster movie makeup ever. It is so iconic that people today can see this. If I were to cover that up, people today could see that and they would know instantly what it is without even having seen the movie. And a lot of people haven't seen the movie. They just know what that is when they see it. It's the Frankenstein monster, and a lot of people call him Frankenstein. Guys, the monster is not Frankenstein. The doctor is, his creator is Frankenstein. He is called the Frankenstein monster, the creature, the monster, several different names. But Karloff became immortal after this film. After this film, Universal Studios cast him in several other iconic monster roles, including The Mummy, and he went on to have decades upon decades of film and TV roles in horror, and starred alongside some of the other greats in horror history, including Vincent Price, Lon Chaney Jr., Bela Lugosi, Christopher Lee, and the list goes on. This film is very different from the novel Frankenstein in that just a few differences. There is no journey to the North Pole. There is no the monster learns how to speak and read and write. Not in this film anyway. Some of that would follow up in the sequel, The Bride of Frankenstein. And there is no monster demanding that his maker make him a mate. That would also follow in The Bride of Frankenstein, but none of that is included in this film. Those are all things from the novel. And something else that's kind of become accepted is the character of Igor. In pop culture, Frankenstein has a hunchback assistant named Igor. He doesn't have a hunchback. He doesn't have an assistant named Igor in this film. A character named Igor actually would appear in the third film in the franchise, Son of Frankenstein, played by Bela Lugosi. One of my favorite Bela Lugosi roles, by the way. But Frankenstein's hunchback assistant is named Fritz in this film. Also, something that's different from the novel is they changed Frankenstein's first name from Victor to Henry. So there was a lot of changes that were done, probably for what I'm assuming would be some executive at Universal Studios deciding, well, we should just make these changes. Maybe it'll make some things more interesting. I really don't know. But if you've ever read the novel and you haven't seen the movie, you're in for, well, there's a lot of changes from the novel to the movie. The makeup was done by Universal's resident makeup genius and pioneer in special effects makeup, Jack Pierce. Pierce designed the makeup that Karloff wore in this film, as well as several other makeups in the Universal Monsters catalog, including the Wolfman, the Mummy. And this makeup has been donned by many people over the years. It was donned. Karloff wore it 3 times for the first 3 films in the series. It was wore by Bela Lugosi in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. Lon Chaney Jr. wore it in The Ghost of Frankenstein. Glenn Strange wore it in a couple of the films, and also, of course, this is Herman Munster's makeup. The character Herman Munster from the Munsters is the Frankenstein monster, and the makeup that he has is pretty much exactly what Karloff had. It's iconic. You can't help but recognize it. The flat top head, the bolts on the neck, the jagged scar on the forehead. I mean, it's become almost a trope of Halloween for this makeup. It's the most iconic makeup in horror movie history, monster movie history. But this film is included. I have it here in the Universal Studios 30 film box set. And here is the box that it comes in. Includes some other collections. We won't get into that right now. But I have it in the Frankenstein Legacy set. And this Legacy set has every film that Universal did in the Frankenstein series. But the one we're going to look at today is just the first film. This film is also available on DVD and has been available on DVD and Blu-ray throughout the years individually. You don't have to buy this box set, but if you are even remotely interested in these classic horror films, I would definitely invest in this set. It also is available on DVD and does go on sale from time to time on Amazon. But I cannot praise this film enough. Like I said, it's one of the most important and iconic horror films ever made, with one of the greatest monster movies, if not the greatest monster movie makeup ever made. And just to delve into the story a little bit without giving too much away, basically what we have is Dr. Henry Frankenstein is obsessed, really, he's obsessed with discovering the secrets of life and death. And he is willing to rob graves and steal bodies and take various parts from bodies and sew them all together, basically, combine them all together to make what would be his creation, the Frankenstein monster. So he gets everything all together, all the body parts, and he still needs the most important part, which is the brain. He sends his assistant to the local medical school and to get one of the brains that they have for their medical courses, and his assistant accidentally grabs a criminal brain, because they have a criminal brain and a normal brain side by side. He actually picks up the normal brain, drops it, and grabs the criminal brain. So the monster was born basically with a criminal brain. But the monster is really not evil in this movie. He's more like a child who was born into a superhuman body. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know right from wrong. He hasn't been taught right from wrong. He was just born into a world that he does not know and that will never accept him because of his appearance. And he ends up doing some terrible things pretty much by accident. You really feel for the monster in this film, and Karloff's performance is just off the charts in this movie. And your heart really breaks for the creature, as he doesn't know what he's doing, and the villagers hunt him up and down the mountains carrying torches, and it's a fun ride, and you really get to see where a lot of horror tropes came from with this film. There's been many adaptations of the Mary Shelley novel over the years, but none have been more iconic and more important than the 1931 film by Universal starring Boris Karloff. So this has been in my own way, a little tribute and a little happy birthday to Boris Karloff. So happy heavenly birthday to Boris Karloff. And if you haven't seen Frankenstein, check it out. I highly, highly recommend it. It's classic Gothic horror from the original House of Horrors, Universal Studios. So that's it for today. And let me know what you thought of the film. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought of it. Let me know what you thought of the Universal Studios monster films as a whole. Personally, they're some of my favorite films. Leave me a comment, hit that like button, and hit subscribe. I really appreciate it. And let me know if there's anything you'd want to see in any future videos. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.